Welcome to Eurosport and our coverage of France's rugby's top 14. And top is the word because we have a top of the table clash tonight in Perpignan. Yes, we're in the southwest of France, and Perpignan, the defending champions, are playing host to the surprise leaders Castres. Joining me in the studio commentary is Laurent Benezet, a former French rugby international. So, Laurent, an intriguing match in store. What are your thoughts on it?
It's a very exciting game because it's supposed to be the first Castres against the second in the rankings, Perpignan, and Perpignan is also the French champion. So it's a surprise. Nobody expected Castres to be that good so soon. And tonight we'll know if it was just by luck or it's a real something deep in that Castres team, and they can expect something even better for the rest of the season.
Indeed, well, tonight really is a test of Castres' championship credentials, because they're up against Perpignan, the defending champions, and in fact a lot of experts within the game in France have said that Castres this season resemble Perpignan from last season, the surprise package which nobody expected whatsoever.
Not completely sure about that because it took a long time to Perpignan to build the team which finished as the French champion. Castres is really starting that year to build something with new coaches, Laurent Travers and Laurent Labitte, and normally you have to wait a little bit of time before you can get such a good result from the team. So it will be a good to look at the clash tonight. You can see the Castres team, they're really strong on the forwards, they're really efficient, and Perpignan will be a great test because Perpignan scrum, for example, is strong and are quite well organized with their line-outs. Can Castres be that organized? We'll see tonight after 80 minutes of great rugby, I hope, of course.
Well, of course, let's cross our fingers. As I said, we're in the southwest of France. The southwest in this country is the heartland of rugby. It's the soul of the game. And we're in the corner of the southwest where the Pyrenees meets the Mediterranean. It's been a lovely day down here in Perpignan, 20 degrees centigrade. Obviously now, around 9 o'clock, things have cooled down a little bit, which makes for optimum temperatures for good rugby. And the name of the stadium here is the Aimé Giral, and it's been quite a fortress for the defending champions Perpignan. They haven't lost here in over a year. In fact, to go back to Perpignan's last defeat, you have to go back to September of 2008 when they lost against Bayonne. So very much Fortress Perpignan. Although Castres, well, they have an excellent away record this season in the top 14. So the stage is perfectly set for some champagne rugby. And what else would you expect in France?
A first surprise, because the Castres Freialf is Romain Tellet, where everybody was expecting the New Zealander McIntyre to start. He is a key player, of course, so that change is quite surprising, I can see, and we'll see if there is he change everything on the Castres team.
Well, it is a surprise, but in fact what Castres' management team have done is they've slotted McIntyre into the outside centre position. Obviously all of these backs are very versatile, so it's a test of their versatility if nothing else. Of course, Romain Tellet is an expert kicker, as indeed is McIntyre. McIntyre had a slow start here at Castres. Initially he was intending to go to Clermont-Ferrand, but that didn't work out. In the end it was Brock James, I believe, who ended up at Clermont. But Clermont's loss is very much Castres' gain. So just talk us through the tactics here, Laurent. What can we expect each team's strengths and weaknesses to be tonight?
The first thing is to be strong on with the forwards. It's what Castres is trying to start, even if they are under pressure, under Perpignan defense pressure, but they can reorganize the game, and the key part of the game is around the back rows and scrum half and fly half. So they will reorganize each time there is a maul. They will try to get some momentum around it and to be able to find the gap in the Perpignan defense.
Well, there was no gap in the Perpignan defense there. That, I believe, was Tuialagi. Thunderous hit. But it's a promising start by Castres. You wouldn't think they were playing away, would you?
No, it's quite risky to play, to take too much risk in the first part of the game against such a good defense as Perpignan's one. But that's a big test for Castres. There's nothing to lose. They have a lot to learn from that experience. So why not playing and take an optimistic or risky game, as you want to call it?
Well, it's a big month for Castres, because today it's the defending champions Perpignan, but in the next 2 weeks they face Toulouse and Clermont, three of the giants of French rugby. In fact, a lot of people thought they might field not a weakened team, but perhaps not their regular first 15, which doesn't seem to be the case. So
David Marty passing the ball to Jérôme Porrical with a long kick, tried to find somewhere some space. But Castres, oh, what a kick!
Goodness me, what was it?
I'm not sure it's exactly what he wanted to do. And Jérôme Porrical has a good opportunity to find, to get the ball out of the pitch and to be out of their own 22 meters. At the moment, Castres has the momentum. They try to put Perpignan under pressure, and it's interesting to see if they can keep that momentum and keep in control of the ball and obviously score as soon as possible.
Yes, for the moment, well, it's only the opening 5 minutes, no score so far.
And Sébastien Thiau's board getting in control of the ball. There is a maul, they have to restart from that slow ball. It's the forwards carrying the ball. Tekori, miss ball.
Yeah, bad hands there.
But the defense was outside, so it will be a penalty for Castres.
There's the Perpignan captain, Nicolas Mas.
Yeah.
Referees explaining the decision.
Yeah, Perpignan is under pressure, and when you don't have the ball for that long, you have to be patient, because you will be, the opportunity to get it back will happen. If you're patient, if you're not, you will create a fault and it will be a penalty for the other team. It's exactly what happened there.
Laurent Travers.
Yeah, he's under pressure. Normally he should be relaxed on that sort of game, because they're playing against the French champion on away, so nothing to lose. But it looks like Castres wants to create something from that game.
It's true. And the man with the destiny in his hands, or rather his boots, is their fly half tonight, Romain Tellet. 31 years of age, I beg your pardon, so a wealth of experience behind him. And the shortest man on the pitch to boot, 1.65 meter only.
It's a good one, just in the middle.
Perfect, good line and length. Well, that's a relief for Laurent Travers. He seems a happier coach now.
It's always interesting to score first, because that means you're in control of the game, and the other team will have to play a riskier game, and that will offer you opportunity to put them in danger.
Yes, it's a psychological blow, and it has to be stressed, the importance of home advantage in France's top 14.
And particularly in Perpignan, it's a very specific place to play, particularly of the wind. That's not the perfect example tonight, as it looks like there is no wind, but normally it's quite a strong one and difficult to play with it.
Yes, that kick was as straight as an arrow, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Castres is still in control of the ball, So it's McIntyre as the first center, kicking in Steve Meyer hands.
Sortez!
Sébastien Thieu's ball, pass the ball to Romain Tellet. And Mazoe creating a maul. Still an offside. It's another interesting penalty.
Numéro 5, numéro 1. Vous restez à la zone des 10 mètres, numéro 5 et 1.
Perpignan was so impressive last weekend, beating Stade Francais in Stade de France. And they were so neat on their defense. And now in 6 minutes, it looks like they made more mistakes than in the whole game last weekend.
That's no two games are the same in rugby. That's the old saying. In fact, both teams come into the game off-away victories. As Laurent just explained, Perpignan were very impressive in Paris, beating Stade Francais, and Castres, well, they beat Bayonne in the French Basque Country. So both teams high on confidence, as indeed should be Romain Tellet after kicking that first penalty. Can he make it 2 out of 2?
It's quite an easy one for him. He's really sharp on his kicking. He has a very high rate, so could be 6 point for Castres.
Yeah, there's competition between this man Tellet and McIntyre for the fly half position. And look at that once again, it's as straight as a die. And would you believe it? The visitors, Castres, good value for their lead at the top 14, because they're 6 points to the good here against the defending champions Perpignan. And who would have thought that at the beginning of the season?
Particularly, it was so easy for them to get that 6 points. It's mainly Perpignan's fault, but if the Catalan players don't correct these problems, that will make Castres game really easier.
So the question now is, what are Perpignan made of at home? Just for the record, the past 2 games here between these two teams have been very close indeed. Perpignan have won them both, but 2018 and 2016. So the margin of difference very, very slender indeed.
Perpignan has difficulty this year to create a momentum on their victories. The main reason is, as they were the French champion last season, they celebrated that quite a lot, and now it's quite difficult to focus. They can't focus on the big games against big teams as Stade Francais. That was a main goal for them to win in Paris, but at the same time they can lose against a team like Treviso, the Italian team in the European Cup. So which Perpignan is playing tonight at the moment is more the one who played Treviso than the one who played at Stade de France. But obviously they have still plenty of time to correct that. But at the moment it's a problem, and it's even a bigger problem with a first injured player.
Yes, Jacques Brunel, the Perpignan coach, looking on, and he looks very anxious indeed. Now we're just waiting for confirmation of who the victim is.
It looks like it's Baron Breeds, the South African back row.
Yes, and there's confirmation. It is the number 6, the big South African, Breeds.
Gary Breeds. I made a mistake. I spoke about Baron Breeds, with a very famous lock, South African lock, who played in Perpignan 15 years ago.
Well,
and he's quite still famous because he's a huge man. You won't miss him in the stand. And this one is not his son. No. It's another Breeds from South Africa.
But he is big, isn't he? Look, nearly 2 meters tall, weighing in at 103 kilos. You wouldn't mistake him.
And the funny story about him is Perpignan signed him as a lock, but he quickly began to play as a back row, and he was running so much and so well all around the pitch, and they never used him as a lock.
Oh, that's pretty unusual, isn't it, for a lock?
Particularly South African lock, yeah. No, they're not supposed to run that much.
Well, it's Perpignan doing the running now, and they've got a vested interest because they're trailing by 6 points Nicolas Durand trying to kickstart things from the scrum half position. Here he is again. Quick ball, the name of the game.
Yeah, but apparently it's a forward ball from Nicolas Durand. Nicolas Durand is a little bit under pressure because there is a new guy in the squad with Cazenave, a very young player, 19 years old, and he played in Stade Francais last week because Nicolas Durand was injured, and he was tremendous. So now Nicolas Durand has to be brilliant again to keep in position because he's quite a key player in the team. He's the one in charge of all the tactics. But this Cazenave was really impressive last week, so it will be a big challenge for the two scrum halves, the three scrum halves, because it's also Melee, David Melee.
Well, are you surprised then, Laurent, that Cazenave didn't actually start this game tonight?
I was surprised by the fact that they completely changed number 9 and number 10. Last weekend it was Cazenave, Larag, and this weekend is Durand Meyer. That's a big surprise.
That's right, the South African fly half, Steve Meyer. In fact, people were expecting another South African fly half in Gavin Hume.
Yes, true. The fact is, when you have a momentum, when you have these two key players working well together, you are often tempted to keep them in the team.
Well, that was Meyer with a pretty good tactical kick, putting Castres under pressure.
Yeah. Now Jérôme Porrical is the hot player of Perpignan at the moment. He was brilliant last weekend, scored all the penalties he was in charge of, and really efficient all around the pitch. And the big disappointment for him was not to be in the French squad last week.
That's right, because we've got the autumn internationals coming up. South Africa and New Zealand visiting France in the coming month, and Porrical didn't make the squad of 30.
So Marius Tenku with more now, slow ball from Perpignan forwards. Castres is well organized in defense, forward ball again from Villaseca, I think. Perpignan has difficulties to create a momentum and to find the right timing for playing between forwards and backs.
But this has been one of Castres' strengths this season, hasn't it? Slowing down the opposition, preventing them from getting that quick ball.
Yeah, that's right. But at the moment, they don't even have to push it that much because Perpignan is not efficient at all. just it's a lack of concentration, it looks like.
Well, Perpignan this week were having some training sessions behind closed doors.
But look at the Perpignan scrum, they're quite efficient, even if the ball is still for Castres and Tekori. Apparently the ball wasn't forward. It's a problem in Castres, they have two fly halves, so Sébastien Thiusbord doesn't know which one to find. David Martin now in control of the ball with a maul.
That was a brilliant take by Porrical, wasn't it?
Yeah, still efficient. Durand to Steve Meyer. Now it's Schuster in charge of the ball. Change of direction with
Farid Sid, I think, was the wing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's true. But it was Mermoz, but it was Sid playing as a center. David Chalewachu tried to create a gap, or he lost the ball. Another mistake and turnover for Perpignan. Such a shame because so much energy for just offering the ball at the end to the opponent.
Yeah, negative body language from the Perpignan coach, the legendary Jacques Brunel. He was, of course, assistant to the former French national coach Bernard Laporte.
You can see Jérôme Porrical again. This time is the prop Schuster. Let's see what Castres is going to do with that ball just in the middle. It's Sébastien Thiusbord to Romain Caban, maybe.
Toulouse board is a live wire in this Castres team, and unfortunately they're going to be without him for a month because he has a shoulder operation this Tuesday.
Yeah, that's right. He was supposed to get that surgery before, but as the other scrum half, Alboui, is also injured, and as the injury obviously is not too bad, he accepted to play for a couple of more matches before getting the surgery. He looks quite good on that one, sharp, strong.
Just so lively, isn't he? He's just buzzing around the base of the scrum. He'll be out for a month after that shoulder surgery. And of course, his objective will be to get into the French squad for the Six Nations, starting in the new year.
Yeah, at the moment there are a lot of scrum halves able to play for France, but nobody is really the one at the top. Free kick for Perpignan after the scrum fall down. Apparently, yeah, the tight head prop from Castres wasn't tight enough, so that will be a Perpignan kick. But they cannot kick straight out of the pitch, so it's an up and under.
And isn't it just
a short one? Maybe the ball for Castres.
Yes, there was a lot of air.
Board to Romain Tellet. Good opportunity for Perpignan.
Well, it looked like Perez knocked it on there.
Yeah. Interesting ball, look. He's on his own. He's not really able to kick. He's on his own, and there are two Castres players. Could be an opportunity to score a try.
It's a golden opportunity. It was Johan Vivalda, the substitute, under pressure there in the corner. And there's the victim. He seemed to be showboating. He had the chance to kick it out, but he was determined to take it on himself as Vivalda.
Yeah, but more than that, he was on his own. Nobody came to help him. Don't understand what happened, because he was really too Castres player to be there to be able to score a try if he didn't make the fault. He was obliged to make that fault. And now, yeah, Laurent Traoré is asking for a yellow card. If he was football, he was even a red card because he was the last defender.
Exactly.
But fortunately for Perpignan, it's just rugby. So that's a free kick.
Yeah, they got away with it, haven't they? Just free kick.
An opportunity to score 3 more points from Romain Tellet. More difficult than the 2 previous ones.
It has to be said,
I'm surprised. It's quite a difficult one. They could have tried to go for the line out, and bad news.
Yeah, the referee getting some magic spray.
We could lose the referee through the game.
We've already lost a player. Okay. We don't want to lose the ref.
The 4th one is already warming up then.
I tell you, he's just beyond the 22-meter line. Look at that face. It's a picture of concentration.
Good one.
Beautiful kick. It seemed to be going wide, but he positioned it perfectly. Just got the swerve. And that, would you believe, is 9-0 to the visitors Castres.
And now Perpignan really has to do something. The only positive part of the game is their scrum. They put Castres under pressure twice. But after that, it's all about mistakes. So they have to correct it, and maybe they can build something from the scrum.
Well, you said before, Laurent, that which Perpignan was going to appear tonight. Well, I think we've got the version that played against the Italians Treviso in the Heineken Cup.
It looks like it. That can change, but at the moment, yeah. It's no Italian rain this time, but still the same spirit for Perpignan.
Yeah, well,
look at that mistake again. You cannot win a game if you never keep in control of the ball. It's exactly what's happening at the moment.
Possession and control to the golden rules of this sport of
maybe
rugby.
another turnover for Perpignan, and Julien Candelong putting his hands on the ball.
And it is a turnover. And can they capitalize on this, Perpignan?
Yeah, Castres does nothing exceptional, but they are right and sharp on everything they do. They're able to be in control of the ball. They're able to keep Perpignan under pressure in their own side of the pitch. At the moment, Castres game is really clean, really sharp enough to be 9 points ahead of their opponent.
Without any tries. And interestingly, Castres have only scored one try in the past 5 games. But as you said, Laurent, as long as you've got control and you're forcing mistakes, the penalties will do the rest.
So this time Perpignan is in control of the ball with Farid Sid. Still a slow ball coming out from the maul. And a kick from Durand. But no pressure under the ball, and Andrew to Tele, to Capo Ortega. That's a good opportunity.
Quick kick, it looks to be covered by Paul Ricard.
Perfect, yeah. And now they're even lucky to get the perfect kick and the perfect rebound. Obviously, at the moment, it's easy to play for Castres. Everything you try is successful, and your opponent doesn't really put pressure under you.
Well, so fortune favours the brave, they say.
I never saw a team getting that easily in the opponent 22 meters.
Oh, that's just the confidence and look that comes with being league leaders.
That's the first mistake of Castres, because it was an opportunity to get the ball. But
poor line out in the end.
Control to Perpignan.
Well, the kick didn't find touch.
Yeah.
He's Toulouse. Good upper body strength there. Bounced off 2 tackles. In the end, good play. Marc Andreu, the left wing there.
Well, that's a shame. He did something perfect at the beginning. They should have passed the ball when he had the opportunity to, because after that Perpignan defense was aggressive enough to block him and to be able to take the ball from him.
And here we can see it again.
It's perfect there. 2 opponents out, 3 even. But now
Mermoz it was, I think you brought him down.
And Jean-Pierre Perez, the Perpignan captain, always impressive on that defense opportunity to catch the ball and to block the attack.
Perez, the number 7, born and bred in Perpignan.
It's first opportunity for Perpignan to create something in Castres' side of the pitch and maybe try to score. Very good rolling ball with the forwards. Nicolas Durand organizing it again, but now it's on the floor by Tinku. They will recreate something for Tuilagi, charging.
Tuilagi, the big Samoan.
Chaliwachu trying to be in control.
Very static though.
But now it's a quick ball, so maybe Maxime Berbos can create something.
Durand feeding Tinku. Forward pass, says the referee.
He lost the ball with the contact of the defender. You see the difference between the 2 teams, how easy it is for Castres to score points and how difficult it is for Perpignan just to carry the ball, to get close to Castres trying to post with no result at the end, because it's always a mistake to stop everything. If I was Laurent Travers, I was really happy with what I was watching.
True, well, we just saw the 2 Laurents there from Castres, and they looked philosophical more than relaxed. But there you go. Sometimes these rugby coaches, they have faces like poker players. They're very hard to read. So it's a scrum just on the 22-meter line.
So the tighted prop of Castres is in trouble, under pressure from Schuster and the Perpignan scrum, but the ball is still in control for Castres, so should be able to kick it away from Sébastien Thieu's board. Let's see if Jérôme Perpignan can make something from it. With Julien Candelon now, with the same ball last weekend, he created a try, but this time the defense blocked him. Apparently the defense blocked him so well that it was a fault. And a penalty for Perpignan.
Yes,
maybe. Let's see what they will choose.
Giuseppe Tacori, I think he was penalised, throwing a punch or two there. Is the big Samoan. Although the man on the deck is Toulouse board. I beg your pardon, no, it's not Toulouse board.
Yeah, it's quite obvious on that one. It was such a big dive. Difficult for the ref to miss it. Can't believe you can make this sort of mistake in the first division.
Well, there you go. Jacques Brunel didn't miss it. He was remonstrating on the sidelines. So it's Perpignan with a chance to pull 3 points back for the hosts and champions Perpignan. Though it doesn't look that easy a kick.
Now it's sharp enough.
Yep, swerved away at the last minute, did Perpignan's kick.
Apparently, nothing works at the moment.
It's one of those days, one of those evenings for Perpignan.
Yeah, they really have to change everything nearly. First, their concentration. They really have to be sharper, to be in control of the ball, to make it simple but efficient, using the power of their forwards and the capacity to put the other team under pressure.
Well, the word from inside the Perpignan camp and the French media was that Perpignan had been changing their set pieces to anticipate Castres' strengths, which begs the question, if something's not broken, why bother trying to fix it? But at the minute, the momentum, as you said earlier, Laurent, is firmly with Castres.
Yeah, Perpignan at the moment, they pass the ball in front of the defense, but they don't really defy it, and they are unable to create something different, something able to beat the defense.
So, Perpignan, it'll be the Romanian hooker, Tinku, to take it, and that's well won.
Yeah, it wasn't such an impressive jump. Huh?
He barely left the floor. Durand with a Gary Owen. Knock on, says the referee.
So Perpignan scrum, another opportunity to start from the Castres part of the pitch.
Si vous vouliez pas, je passerai à autre chose. Numéro 8. Si vous vouliez pas,
A Toulouse board completely missing the take there.
Let's see if Maxime... Oh, we won't see that anyway, because apparently Perpignan scrum was...
Je vous le dis, je veux que vous soyez liés, vous ralentissez les commandements.
Oh, apparently they weren't tight with their opponent. So another opportunity for Castres to go back in Perpignan part of the pitch.
Today
it's up and under, and that's a mistake.
Yeah, he likes that as...
It was a bit too long, so there was no pressure. Oh, no offside. At the moment it's an exchange of faults.
It's true.
Perpignan leading in that way, but Castres is getting closer and closer.
Well, the game's lost its momentum, that's fair to say.
Yeah, that's definitively. So, what is that? Another up and under. Interesting. Too long too. And not the right player to offer the ball to.
That's
so
right.
He is quite powerful, Tacori. Up and under.
Toulouse board did well there.
Ball.
Jouez.
Ah, no.
Referee says play on.
No forward ball then, and Tacori again.
Oh dear, charge down by Mermoz. Can they make it count? They can't. Superb covering play by the captain, Toulouse-Bordet. Talk about leading by example.
Yes, it was a surprising opportunity to score for Perpignan. But Maxime Mermoz, even when he's not with the ball in his hands, is still a dangerous player. Prove it on that one.
The mistake by Mathieu Boré.
Yeah.
The Castres fullback. But look at the speed, look at the anticipation of the captain, Toulouse-Bordet. Well, Mermoz is in good form. He's in the French squad.
Yeah. Another opportunity, a real opportunity for Perpignan to score with a rolling maul, but they are not in control of the ball. They lost it. And look, it's...
Referee whistles it back. He says there's been a knock-on.
First knock-on for Perpignan, so it will be a Castres scrum. It's an interesting scrum because at the moment Perpignan was able to put Castres under pressure. If they can do that, they could even win the ball. Let's see if Castres can resist and keep the ball, keep in control of the ball.
So we're just in front of the 5-meter line. Dangerous times for Castres. Or maybe not.
That won't have been my judgment on that one because it was really the cast-tighted prop losing his balance and falling down on the floor. But for the ref, judge, it was the Schuster, the Perpignan prop, doing it. So Castres is lucky enough on that one to escape.
Let's take a look at the action replay. Well, we definitely see the Perpignan pop go to ground.
At the same time, as everything happened in a couple of seconds, the Perpignan prop wasn't completely in control of his opponent, tightening his hand on the jersey, so that was the cause of the penalty.
Okay, and that was Schuster, the Perpignan prop in question. And Perpignan enjoying a good spell of possession here now, if the referee gets out of the way.
So Tinku again, losing the ball again. That's the at least the third time in a row. Castres is not really able to use that ball. So we'll start again from a scrum. I guess he was too hot today in Perpignan.
Yes.
It was too big nap for all the players this afternoon, and they're struggling to find the momentum and to really focus on the game when it's so nice to be by the Mediterranean coast.
Indeed, this is the land of siesta, of course, down in the southwest. But I think it's the second time that the Romanian hooker Tinku has spilled the ball when he seemed in a good position. Some people were expecting Guillaume Girardo to play, but it was Tinku who got the nod, and it's Castres now in a good position.
With Tele to Romain Caban and Andrew. Dangerous tackle apparently because he was with the shoulder, not trying to catch the Castres wing.
I think it was Sid. Was it Sid, the guilty person? Sid or Marty? Perpignan have a very impressive combination of centres in Maxime Mermoz and David Marty.
It's Marty. Yes. It's David Marty. Look at it. It's really severe. At the same time, the wing is quite short. So
this is true. This is very true. But to me, there was nothing in there.
No, particularly as he was really in the same movement and he was running towards the center. And with the cross ball, he got everything at the same time, the ball and the
Marty can't believe it, like 10 centimeters difference between Marty and the wing on
small mistake, big consequences. If Castres scored that one again, that will be 12 points ahead of Perpignan.
Well, indeed. And as we've seen before, it's well within Tule's range, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're on the left-hand side. But he certainly kicked from this distance before. That preparation would remind you of Johnny Wilkinson's. Plays his rugby in France these days. Does the English fly half for Toulon. But this is Tullet for Castres to make it 12-0.
And it's a perfect kick right in the middle. 3 more points. That's really a surprise. Castres leading 12-0 after 30 minutes in Perpignan. Let me tell you, I don't want to spend half time in the Perpignan changing room. That will be hot.
Indeed. Yeah, I think Jacques Brunel is getting ready to give his men the what in English we call the hairdryer treatment.
And they deserve it. Castres' tight end prop is out.
Yes, that's the...
It should be Seyman in.
Luc Ducalcon has been substituted.
Yeah.
That's bad news for him. He's just made the French squad for the winter internationals. And in fact, he's in direct competition with his counterpart in the Perpignan team. The man with the ball in his hand there, Nicolas Mas.
There's quite a big gap between them still, because Nicolas Mas now is a very confined international player and is first choice in the French team, where Luc Ducalcon, who is younger obviously, has a lot to prove at that level.
Ducalcon was getting some spray treatment.
Yeah, maybe it's tactical as a tactical change, and Ducalcon will be back later in the game for the last half an hour.
Well, let's see.
Nicolas Durang is playing quickly. He's on his own.
Very quickly, too quickly for his teammates, in fact.
Another mistake from Nicolas Mas this time. I have to admit, the ref doesn't help to make the game clearer.
He hasn't.
Than it should be.
He seems to be very
doesn't create the mistake. They exist.
But so much of rugby these days is open to interpretation, though.
Yeah. And let's see if on that scrum, Seyman will make it better.
Again, good clearance kick by Toulouse ball. Yes, he's a very strict referee.
Yeah, I think he's English.
Going by the book.
Yeah. But at the same time, you cannot reproach the faults to him. You have to reproach it to the players. Because, and you can hear the crowd, they are really not happy, and I can understand that.
It's true, but you're right, the referee isn't making the mistakes, he's just penalising them. The mistakes are coming from the Perpignan team at the moment, and that's why the fans are getting on their back, and that's not going to do Perpignan's confidence any good whatsoever.
Can understand the crowd. It wasn't a perfect night to be out in a restaurant eating a fish by the sea. And have to watch an average rugby game at the moment.
That's right, start of the weekend, that Friday feeling.
Yeah. Let's hope the second half will be better than that.
Good run by Tekori. He's played well as the Samoan number 8.
Perpignan should have to kick that one, try to reduce the gap before the half time.
Well, they need to get points on the board, which they failed to do so far. It's a battle of Samoan number 8 tonight.
It's quite huge boys on the pitch, on that position. You can see the coaching team of Perpignan with Bernard Gouta and Perry Freshwater, the prop, who apparently is injured tonight.
That's right, ex-England international. Of course, born in New Zealand.
True, and finishing in Perpignan, quite
loves the lifestyle down there, doesn't
experience.
He? 36 years young and still playing at the coalface pretty much every week for Perpignan. Now, 3 points. Can Perpignan pull the score back to 12-3 just before they go in at half-time? Poricol missed his earlier kick. That looks better.
Good.
Indeed it
Just
is.
the perfect one.
Well, at last will be the cry from the Perpignan home fans. First points on the board. Long kick by J11 Perpignan. And maybe that will send out a message to the French international coaching team. Perpignan, of course, overlooked by them for the winter-autumn internationals.
Yeah, if there is a Perpignan player close to his normal level at the moment, it's J11 Perpignan. He's the one not making so much mistakes, like this one, for example. And still Castres is in control of the ball with a rolling maul. That could be an interesting opportunity again. What's this? Sébastien Thiou's board has to pass the ball.
Taking his time is the captain.
Yeah, and he knows the ref will go back to the scrum.
Bit of argy-bargy there. Tempers frayed. It's the big Cameroonian lock, Charlie Wachu, who's trying to act as peacemaker there.
Charlie Wachu has an interesting story because at the beginning of the season, he had no club. Last year he was with Stade Francais, but the Stade Francais coach, Ewan Mackenzie, wanted him to play as a prop because he's huge, very strong. But he didn't want that, he wanted to be a lock. So he never played last year. And nobody wanted him. It looked like no club was signing him until Perpignan decided, as they were lacking of locks, and at the moment he's their first choice. He's the only one to play every game.
So it's a happy ending for the big Cameroonian.
Yeah.
And big is the word, 1.98 meters, and he weighs in at 120 kilos.
So apparently he was fault against Castres lock, but he wasn't such a fault, so we won't talk about it for long.
It's true that he has the build of a lock more than a prop, doesn't he? So final minutes of this opening half here in Perpignan.
Even the rolling maul is not working at the moment, but still in control of the ball, quite well organized. Let's see if they can get an opportunity to put Castres under pressure. That won't happen.
Oh, superb break by Toulouse Bordeaux. Referee's waving play on there. There was a knock on, he said. Played advantage.
They can get the opportunity by the center. It's McIntyre getting the gap.
Good break.
He lost it. David Marty can kick away.
Good kick as well by the centre. There's the fullback, Boré, trying to make amends.
That's the last opportunity for the two teams. Meyer to Charlie Wachu, to Meyer again. Tuilagi is close, but he won't get the ball.
They seem to be going down blind alleys, Perpignan.
Perez still free. Now it's a maul for Durand. Will try a kick.
And even his kick is blocked by Castres.
Castres should still be in control of the ball. They should kick it away. No, they won't even have to do that.
They don't have time.
The ref was quicker.
And it's been the story of this first half so far, hasn't it? But that was the whistle to end it. And how about that for a scoreline? The league leaders, Castres, 12-3 ahead of Perpignan. Who would have believed it? Welcome back to Eurosport's coverage of France's top 14 rugby league. We're in Perpignan, and what a surprise we have here. The defending champions are losing 12 points to 3 against the league leaders Castres. I'm Tony Jeffers, and joining me in the commentary booth is former French international Laurent Benezek. So Laurent, let's be honest, it hasn't been champagne rugby from either side. What can we expect in this second half?
A lot. I expect a lot from that second half, because at the moment it's really disappointing what we have seen on the pitch. The exciting bit is the score and the fact Castres is leading, but at the moment it doesn't look like it's the first team in the championship against the second, because he was so many mistakes in the first half. It cannot be worse, let's be honest, and I'm expecting a lot because Perpignan will have to react, and it should be really a tough game in the second half, so it should be really more exciting to watch.
Well, let's wait and see. Perpignan, the defending champions, they're playing in the white and sky blue tops. On the ball here, their fullback J11 Perpignan, and that's a useful looking kick, as long as it doesn't go out, which of course it did. And that has unfortunately been typical of this game so far.
Yeah, another unlucky mistake, I will say, but reflects what happened in the first half for Perpignan. It was just all about mistakes. They really have to change. The only positive things in the first half was the scrum, so maybe they can build something around it, but till now that never really happened. First, because the ref penalized both teams quite a lot on scrums, so it was, yeah. Looks like the ref doesn't want to change that.
Indeed.
I can understand he wants to be strict, but he has to understand we want to enjoy a little bit of rugby.
Exactly.
Je ne compte pas repasser une seconde mi-temps comme ça.
Yeah, me too. He just said he doesn't want it to happen again in the second half, and I completely agree on that one. So please, let's improve that part of the game. So it will be a little bit less refereeing, a little bit more rugby.
But what's his problem? The actual binding of the props?
Yeah, they don't have the right timing. And look, that's an interesting thing. Perpignan scrum was able to put Castres under pressure, and they got the ball by their strength. They got an opportunity to score. It's so they have to build the second half if they want to stick back on the scoreboard and to be able to win that game.
And this is what Jacques Brunel, their boss, will have told them at half-time. Get some early points on the board as quickly as possible in the second half, just to give yourself a fighting chance.
Yep.
And indeed they have. There's the slow motion replay. So, a chance to pull the score back to 12-6. Perpignan again.
Oh dear. The ball cannot make it straight.
Well, let's hope that's not an ominous sign. Yes. It really has been one of those games. I've rarely seen a game of rugby which has been so stop-start. Kicked one, missed one in the first half to the Perpignan fullback. What's it to be here?
They won't make it again.
So near, yet so far.
Yeah. At the moment, Castres has everything to win that game and to impress all the French rugby.
It's true. That wasn't the best angle for our viewers to watch that. Here on Eurosport, it had the length, but unfortunately, it didn't have the line.
Yeah. Romain Tellet for a long kick. Castres wants to be back in the Perpignan side of the pitch as quickly as possible. But Steve Meyer, with that up and under, wants to keep in charge of the ball. Tekori now.
Oh dear, dear. And that was bad play. Ludovic Michaud, I think they're the player just spilling it at the wrong time.
Look at Tekori, he's a huge player, huge back row, can be really impressive, able to beat the difference when he decides to run with the ball.
Well, so far in the Castres team, Tekori along with Toulouse Bourd have been their standout players for me. And that's not something you see very often. Tuilagi being muscled off the ball there.
Yeah, the Castres back row wasn't attached to the look at Tekori, Malonga, sorry, and he was already out. He wasn't the shoulder against his partner, so it's the penalty for Perpignan. They go for the line out.
Yes, unfortunately, Malonga a bit too enthusiastic there.
On the first half, Villaseca was the main target of Tinku, and he was able to catch a lot of balls. So let's see if they keep that advantage. Now it's Perez.
Perez did well, feeding Durand nicely.
Directly to Mermoz, Schuster.
Jouez, messieurs, jouez!
Play on, says the referee, and
yeah, because he was no more, so no offside, and the Castres was able to catch the ball, to intercept the ball.
and Castres turned it over. There will be no progression of phases in this match. Certainly not by Perpignan. Or collected par Rical. Withdrawn by the fullback. Nicolas Mas, the captain.
Huge tackle, but Nicolas Mas is still going forward. But they are losing the ball. No. Durand to Meyer.
Good support there by Perpignan.
Have to reorganize it, try to create some momentum again. With Perez this time.
Durand.
Still slow ball. So Jérôme Porrical is kicking.
Little chip kick, well taken.
Sébastien Thiusbord.
Superb defense there
For
by
someone being in surgery in a couple of days, Sébastien Thiusbord is quite impressive tonight.
You wouldn't think it, would you? Or maybe that's precisely why he feels liberated.
I think so. He knows it's the end now because he was obliged to play with the pain in his shoulders.
That's just unbelievable. Nicolas Mas barely moved there, absorbing that hit.
Yeah, from Capo Ortega is a huge block too.
Goodness me. 1m95, 110 kilos, Capo Ortega. He'll be feeling that hit in the morning though. Perpignan trying to get into a rolling maul. Tinku's got the ball, he's passed it back. Here comes the drive. It's looking good.
Tries to stop that, or it will be a try. Oh, it is a try.
That's that, a penalty try?
Yeah. I don't know what I have to say, if I have to be happy by the first try of the game, or if I have to feel a little bit frustrated because the ref whistled a little bit quickly.
Yeah, he's whistle happy, isn't he? Everybody would have loved to have seen a pure, genuine try.
First, he could have let the advantage for Perpignan, see if they can score the try naturally. Or he could have waited and only offer a penalty to Perpignan because it was the first time. And it's not that obvious neither, but
no,
that's a try.
Well, not from that angle anyway, but Perpignan won't worry about that. Certainly not Jacques Brunel.
Sure. They are back in the game. Thanks to that rolling maul, that really efficient rolling maul, they have the opportunity to be back to 2 points behind Castres, and I'm sure Jérôme Porrical won't miss that one.
And indeed he doesn't. And so it's game on, Perpignan right back in the match. Well, here's the action again. Tinku with a line out.
Yeah, it's definitively an advantage. Perpignan has the momentum. It was a player blocking it. It's a bit severe.
Well, no matter. It's 12-10 now, the score. And that's a unlucky. What's the referee? That was superb interception by Maxime Mermoz there. For a knock-on rather, says the referee. Well,
it really looks like Perpignan cannot make 2 very good games in a row. That's after the Stade Francais win, everybody thought that was it, but it's not at all. And Castres are still in possession with Caban, Justin Kiklo was really close to get it. Porrical is still in control.
Yes, very good chip there by Romain Cabane, teasing the defense of Perpignan.
The kick was clever because he was between two Perpignan players, with none of them able to reach it before the rebound, and the rebound was vicious. But not that vicious because Andrew was unable to catch it.
Yes. Andrew not getting the bounce of the ball. But still, let's see what that penalty try has done to Perpignan's confidence.
Let's see if Bourré can make it.
Oh dear. Referee says play on, he's not buying that.
Still, it will be a scrum.
But it did look as if Toulouse's body had been caught late there.
I think we have to admit that the ball is really slippery tonight because it's quite hot, players are sweating a lot, and the ball is always wet, and it makes it a bit more difficult to play with. I won't explain everything, but I will excuse the player at least.
At least, well, there's Tuilagi. Look how quickly Toulouse Bordet was onto his opposite number there. Oh dear, that's stupid. That's very foolish by Tekori. It's very good job for him. He didn't make contact with that haymaker punch right in front of the referees.
Castres is starting to make the referee angry against them. That could cost them a lot because each time he will have to make a decision and there are a couple of faults, he will go for the cast fault. That's obvious. So they have to rechange their behavior on the pitch with the ref if they don't want to get the penalties against them, just because at the moment they are making faults. And we can see the one who was the reason of the try. There are the faults, but because they are pushing it too far with the ref, he will penalize them immediately.
Especially this referee.
He wants to be strict, he wants the players to respect him, and Castres is not doing that at the moment, so they have to pay the price for it.
And this is not a referee to get on the wrong side of. In fact, I'm just amazed that he didn't penalise Tekori for swinging his arm there.
Yeah, because apparently at the same time he was... that's Ducalcon, so we won't see him again.
Yes, he's back in his civilian's gear.
So you are right, he could be injured. That could be a concern for the coach of the French team.
That's right, Marc-Éliève Roman, former French international himself. Comes from a famous French rugby family. One with his brother, no? Thomas?
Yeah, Thomas plays for France too. They never play together for the French team.
Okay, we got two substitutes being lined up here for Perpignan.
Guirado and Perry Freshwater.
So Guirado will come on as hooker for Tinku. And logically, Freshwater should replace Jérôme Schuster.
I thought I saw him in the stand, but apparently he was at the bench, ready to play.
He's an all-rounder, Perry Freshwater, maybe cutting his managerial teeth there.
Tekori in charge of the ball with Cabello. Yannick Forestier holding the ball, but it's out of the pitch, so...
He's covered some yards and meters, hasn't he, Tekori, today?
He's really strong and quite fast with his weight, so he's a real danger.
Yeah, I believe he's the heaviest man on the pitch, is Tekori, at 123 kilos.
So Perpignan trying to roll again with Guirado. Durant to Meyer, Meyer to David Marty.
Farid Sid was stopped in his tracks there. As Durand feeds Meyer.
Momentum for Perpignan with Charlie Wachu charging. And the Perpignan forward. Steve Meyer, little kick.
Beautiful chip kick there by Meyer.
Knock on, unfortunately.
And
Castres is able to.
Looks like Meyer. Yeah, I think Meyer took a kick or a punch to the face there. Play goes on though.
Yeah. Maxime Mermoz. But Sébastien Thiusbord is.
He's having a wonderful game, isn't he?
Yeah.
Thiusbord taking down Mermoz there. 14 kilos in the difference of weight between the two men.
It's a kick by Durand. Castres is in position and in control of the ball again. Still a slow ball. That's the problem of that game. All these slow balls from the Moors. The teams can get the momentum and put the defense under pressure by the speed. Let's see. It should be a kick from Romain Tellet.
It was the left wing Andre acting as scrum half there.
Jérôme Porrical, let's hope he will create something. Chorgadze, the hooker from Castres, was at the perfect position. Now let's see if Romain Caban for long kick behind David Marty.
Meyer looks nervous there for a split second. In the end, his kick did the job. Good enough for the South African fly half.
Faites l'effort, sortez les zones de 10 mètres, ok.
Beautiful. He's a beautiful player, is Porrical. He was unlucky with the distance.
We've seen a lot of rugby in the last 2 minutes, but unfortunately, as he wasn't that much rugby in the first half, the players are not that tired, so there's no real gap in the defenses to help for a try.
That's right, as we approach the hour mark, maybe those chinks and holes will begin to open up in the last 10 minutes.
Let's hope so.
That's a well-worked line-out by Castres.
Yeah, Romain Caban still free to run with Seman now. Small. It's a fault. That's a big mistake from Perpignan, because it will be a very good opportunity for Romain Tellet to score 3 more points and to recreate that gap, which could make the difference by the end.
And they can't say they weren't warned. The referee was telling them to get out, to leave it.
So you see, as the Castres players were patient, were, let's say, polite with the ref, it's quiet again, and they're able to not only to play, to be in control of the ball, to have a good defense, but now to have opportunities to score.
And here is it. Again, no surprises for guessing who the kicker will be. It's that man, Tellet, looking to make it 5 out of 5. 100% record so far. His face is a picture.
13 et 15 bleus et 10 blancs, d'accord.
He really is in the kicking zone here, and it's well within his range.
And here it is. It's not his best kick in a stylistic way, but still 3 points.
It's good enough.
And look at the pair of coaches.
The two Laurents.
They don't look that happy, but they could make it, and they could have a large smile by the end of that game.
Well, if they hold on for just another 20 minutes, it's looking good. So substitutes then for Castres. Coming off is McIntyre. Looks like he's being replaced by
Sanchou. Should be Thomas Sanchou playing as a center. And I haven't seen the second substitution. Steve Malonga in control of the ball, impressive one. The first really impressive tonight.
And again,
it's a good kick under pressure. But Perpignan should be able to create nothing from that. Still a good maul.
That's a great kick. Superb kick.
It looked like he was Gavin Hume kicking that ball. Yeah, that's him. He's on the pitch. And he looks like he's going to play fly half.
Well, let's just take another look at the charge. And then the kick to follow if we're lucky. Because all of a sudden, there's a line out.
Important one for Castres. They cannot miss it.
2 mètres.
Should be on Cap Ortega, the first jumper. Yeah, that's a very good one. Now Perpignan has to be patient and not to be offside. Particularly Charlie Wachu. That's okay for them.
Good enough clearance kick by Toulouse-Bordeaux.
Yeah. And now Perpignan will have an opportunity to score either by a rolling maul or to pass the ball to the backs with Mermoz and Marty dangerous enough to create something.
So it's the substitute hooker for Perpignan, Guillaume Guirado. Will the target be Villaseca?
Là, rentrez, pas dans les cages.
There will be no rolling maul and more Guillaume Guirado and Tuilagi trying to charge. Durant to Gavin Hume and Maxime Mermoz with Charlie Wachu. Durant, a good tackle by the defense.
Very good tackle.
Very fresh water in control of the ball.
Crossfield kick. It's nearly perfect, but not good enough. Good defensive work by the Castres wing Andre. And that stopped a nearly certain try.
Yeah, and we are back to the initial line out for Castres again. But under pressure to lose the ball and offer a good opportunity for Perpignan to score. Good catch.
Quick thinking by Perpignan. They saw they had a man over. But I think he was already outside the field of play.
Yeah.
Head in hands.
Look, Cap Ortega again, maybe. Yes.
Yes, it is. The substitute hook is done well.
Perpignan has to be patient. No offside again. And they will get an opportunity. Yeah, the same kick.
Well, it's deja vu.
It's not the replay, it's really the same.
It's
the same strategy from the two teams.
4 bleus.
We see Perry Freshwater.
Yeah. Another substitution with Michaud out. And it should be Roland in. So my prediction is an opportunity for Perpignan to create a rolling maul and try to score. And Castres will have to stop that immediately if they don't want to get another penalty try. Let's see, that's a catch.
Guirado found his man very well.
And that's a rolling maul starting with Mas and Guirado in control of the ball.
It's set up for it, and here it comes.
And it's
There's the break.
Guirado.
Guirado, will he ground it? It looks like he will, and he has.
This time no help from the ref.
Well, that time the home fans got what they wanted.
Hold on, the ref wants to watch the TV.
But hold your horses. We shouldn't really be surprised with this referee. He's a stickler for accuracy. And he's asking for the video referee to give him a second opinion.
Nothing to look at.
Well, Capo Ortega seemed to get a punch in the face, but that's not what the referee is asking for the video referee.
No, he cannot. And if the touchline ref saw nothing, yeah, it looked like he was hit, but more from one of his partners than Perpignan forward.
Well, I don't see the problem there, because Girardeau's feet didn't leave the field of play.
No, it's no problem.
It was a superb break by Girardeau. Goodness me, it looked more like a back than a hooker.
Vincent.
Yeah. It's an important detail. The name of the fourth ref is Vincent. And Vincent should agree on that score.
Well, there you go. There was never any doubt, really.
So, thank you, Vincent.
And how about that? Vincent doing his job.
Yeah.
Putting a smile on the faces of the home fans, that's for sure. They haven't had much to smile about so far in this match.
Yeah, but it was quite something between Capo Ortega and Perpignan player.
Strange, superb break there by the substitute Girardeau. Still no smiles.
So at the moment it's a draw. Let's see if Jérôme Porical can change that. And for the first time tonight, can Perpignan lead the score?
That's right, 15-15 before Porical takes the kick. So absolutely no pressure.
No.
Not the easiest of kicks, has to be said.
And he looks nearly perfect.
It just about snuck in inside the post. Cheered on by the try scorer Girardeau. And as Laurent said, the host Perpignan have their noses in front for the first time in this match.
And apparently the crowd is waking up. Let's see Castres' reaction. Is still plenty of time to go. And Castres is now under pressure to run after the score. Will they be able to do that? We'll see.
So what would you say then to Castres? Play as you were? More of the same?
At the moment they had a good strategy, because they just put Perpignan under pressure, and the opponent offer all the points to score. But obviously Perpignan with Chaiwachu looks more in confidence now. They have fast ball to play with giving him to Maxime Mermoz. Let's see if the Castres defense can stop that. And Tekori looks like he got the ball, but it wasn't enough for the ref.
Strange.
Perpignan will still be in control of the ball, and it will be a scrum for Perpignan.
Well, there's Capo Ortega down again. He's in the wars. Is the Uruguayan lock.
Arrêt du temps.
Referee stopping
he looks
play.
knocked down.
Oh, goodness me, he looks incredibly concussed. They're the smelling salts.
Yeah. It's not a nice one. Smell.
That's the idea.
He looks like he's not good enough for him.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to play any more in this game. No.
It's Diarra, the Castres back row. Should be in. Capo Ortega could be out. Tekuri should work forward, playing as a lock for the rest of the game. And Diarra will be in on the side of the back row.
So there you have it. Looks like a strong case of concussion for Capo Ortega, the Uruguayan lock.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be there where he got knocked down.
Flexion.
He never recovered from that.
Well, that's right, because that's going back to the start of the half, isn't it?
Good scrum from Castres. Oh, that's the. Yeah, they got the minimum they can get from it. They have the ball. They could get a penalty from it.
Well, the tables have definitely turned here. Remember, both Perpignan's tries have come from rolling mauls. So don't be surprised to see that tactic again very soon. Well, Castres had possession there.
Big miss.
Yeah, out of character.
You can feel the pressure is going from Perpignan to Castres. Now it's Castres starting to make mistakes. And not sure it was an up and under on that situation. Running with the ball is not the easiest thing to make. So,
as we saw, as you said, Laurent, it's the pressure. Pressure's been transferred from one team to the other, and that's how the pendulum swings in sport and in rugby. So, just under 14 minutes left here in Perpignan, and the hosts have the momentum. There's the try scorer, Girardeau. They ran into a brick wall there.
So, good defense from Sancho, but David Marty is still in control of the ball.
Durand ordering his men, short ball.
Porical to cut the long. Watch out, he's quite dangerous, but not on that one. So giving you two.
Oh, very nearly.
Forward, yeah, to Maxime Mermoz.
Yeah, Perpignan fans that aren't happy. There was a leg trailing there. I think Andreu was the guilty party. Marty's trying to calm things down. It was a superb quick pass by Perez.
Yeah, but it was a very high defense on Maxime Mermoz.
Here's the challenge coming in. There you go.
Yeah, I see why. We don't see that on the different angle, but yeah, he looked like he wanted to kick in his
It's a straight kick. Goodness me. Referee's going to have words.
Tuilagi is out.
Tuilagi should be replaced by Damien Chouli.
C'est bon, messieurs. Reprise du temps.
Referee asking if Mermoz is all right. Goodness me, that was already a high tackle.
Yeah. We didn't see it, but Perpignan scrum put a lot of pressure on their opponent, and they got a penalty from it.
Yeah, Perry Freshwater being congratulated by his teammates there.
And Perpignan wants to score 3 points, which will create a 5 points gap between the two teams. And with just a little bit more than 10 minutes to go, that could be enough for Perpignan to win the game.
That's right. Remember, Castres have only scored 1 try in their past 5 games.
Yeah.
They don't want to be in the position where they have to score 1 here as we approach the business end of this match. So it'll be Porical again. He kicked from this angle earlier. He's got his kicking boots firmly on now. And this to make it 20 points to 15. It's not complete silence.
Doesn't look like.
No. Judging by the sound of the fans, that tells you everything. Once again, had the length, didn't have the accuracy.
Okay, 10 minutes to go. 2 points difference between the two teams. Can Castres will make it? We'll see that.
And I wonder if Porical will be regretting that miss in the next 10 minutes.
It's a good up and under. That's
strange. Bad timing.
So Romain Tellet trying to get the ball out of the pitch.
And he did well. Good clearance kick. Takes the pressure off Castres.
It was an important one, yeah. Because in the first half, Castres played a lot in the Perpignan side of the pitch. Now it's the opposite. Perpignan is spending a lot of time in Castres part of the game, and as long part of the pitch. And as long as you are in the opponent part of the pitch, normally you cannot get a try against you.
That's right. Girardeau with a good line out, well taken by Perez.
Yeah, Perpignan is trying to build his win on two things, scrums and rolling mauls, and he worked quite well until now.
Yes, indeed. 2 tries from 2 rolling mauls. Very good statistics. Perez will join it again at the base. As Girardo had a good game since he came on as a replacement hooker.
So no pressure from Castres forwards. Maybe there will be a turnover.
Turned over.
Oh.
No, says the referee. And in this game, the referee's word has been final.
Ça rentre bien par la porte et bien dans l'axe, il n'y a pas de faute, messieurs. C'est une mauvaise protection de votre part, messieurs.
No mistake, says the referee to Castres captain Toulouse Border. I think the Perpignan captain is down on the deck, Nicolas Nats.
Yeah, he is. Because he's getting tired from quite a big opposition in the scrums and the mauls.
And it looks to be his shoulder or his back.
The ribs,
there.
more the ribs. It's quite a sensitive part of the prop body. Yeah.
He was just bundled over there by Ibrahim Diarra. Obviously landed badly, and you can see him grimacing straight away there.
He looks okay now.
All's well that ends well. Referee.
Debout, monsieur. Debout. Flexion.
Goodness me, he's a stickler, isn't he? He's so strict.
Yeah.
And that's not going to last. But the referee didn't help things there.
On va voir, s'il vous plaît,
non,
on va la faire ici, s'il vous plaît, là.
définitivement.
On va la faire là. D'accord. C'est une glissade de part et d'autre, il n'y a pas de souci.
So now the referee's changing the position of the scrum.
Avancez-vous, s'il vous plaît. Plus près. Plus près.
Closer, he says.
Touchez. Stop. Entrée.
They're the 4 commandments of the scrum. And that one stood up. Well, it's messy there. Very messy.
Yeah, but Perpignan is still in control of the ball with Durand.
Nearly.
Mess it.
And it's back to the style of the first half, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very, very messy and scrappy. Shake of the head by Durand says everything. But in fact, there was a player on the... I wonder if the player's leg on the floor was interfering with play there.
Allez. Comme maintenant, c'est parfait. Ça nous convient. Très bien.
Okay, anyway, a good turnover for Castres, a good opportunity to play with the backs on one side or the other of the pitch.
Restez liés.
Well, they're only 2 points behind.
Yeah.
A good counter-attack.
McIntyre, long kick. It's perfect
A
one.
brilliant kick. Brilliant kick, indeed.
And now they have to keep Perpignan in that part of the pitch as long as possible until Perpignan will make a mistake and offer the opportunity to Castres to score some points, at least 3, and to win that game. That's possible, but Castres has to be patient, has to have a really well-organized defense, but Perpignan under pressure. And something can happen, something will happen from that situation.
So pressure on the Perpignan line-out. Girardo, the try-scorer, looking for... And we'll take it.
Perpignan line-out is strong. That's really important at the moment.
Voilà. N'écoulez pas, c'est molle.
Yeah.
Needs a good kick.
He won't go out.
Straight down the middle. And that'll be returned with interest. Oh, good take by Porrical. He's under pressure, though. Well, that's been good pressure there by Castres. They can smell blood, perhaps, the visitors.
Look, the Perpignan tactic is not to keep the ball in the pitch and to oblige Castres to take risk with Mazoe, McIntyre, Tekori.
Freshwater complaining, I think, that there was a clear obstruction there.
So look.
And that didn't stay in play. Poor kick. That's going to have to go all the way back.
So Perpignan tactics was right because of the way they keep the ball in the pitch, oblige Castres to make mistakes, and now they could spend the last 5 minutes in Castres 22 meters, so it will be no risk for Perpignan, and even maybe the opportunity to score more points. And why not with a try to avoid the defensive bonus for Castres to score the defensive bonus.
Of course, in modern day rugby, there are lots of bonus points.
Yeah, and that could make a difference.
A short ball by Durand. Good drive, making precious meters. Will it be a drop goal attempt?
Yeah, it will be missed.
Well, not at that height. First drop goal attempt we've seen at the match.
Yeah, but that's a good one because even if you miss it, you still should be able to get the ball back from the restart and the opportunity to keep Castres under pressure. Oh, except they play quickly and Sebastian Thiusbourd.
And there's a chance on the kick was lacking.
Can't believe that mistake from Perpignan defense. They didn't focus at all on the ball, so two Castres players, Thiusbourd and Nicolas, were able to run the ball, and the ref is saying that it's your fault. There's no problem with that.
Straight from the training ground, beautiful angles between the two men there.
Perpignan is lucky the kick was out.
Look how quickly it was taken. Good sharp thinking by Mathieu Nicolas. But it's turned over. And Castres need to put the pressure right back on. Up and under, not the cleanest.
Good catch.
Very good take.
From Gavillum.
We're into the last 3 minutes of this game.
Perpignan looks strong enough to win that game, but they should kick this ball and it will be another last opportunity for Castres from it.
It's a good kick.
Straight in the fullback arms. Mazoud, he made it. So they lost the ball. So.
Turned over. Good work. Quick hands by Durand. And again, Porical to his opposite number. They're exchanging kicks here, the two teams, and that will suit Perpignan right down to the ground. Porical again. Anything you can do.
Sebastian Thiusbourd.
Good tap tackle by Porical.
Andrew.
It's fast and furious in these last few minutes.
Castres has the momentum, but he's offside.
Yeah, the referee's blown it.
Oh, yeah. It's too far, obviously.
Yeah, Mermoz wasn't happy there, remonstrating with his bench. And yet another victim down. This time it's Guillaume Villaseca. Perpignan lock.
Yeah, okay, but someone in the way, Mr. Ref.
Referee just said play on regardless. Laurent Travers, not a happy coach.
Not that happy, no.
He's having to be calmed down.
Now he knows about the time running out, and if they wait for too long, they won't get the opportunity to score.
He's furious, is Travers. It's the last minute of the game, that's why. Well taken.
Because look, it's important if there is a mistake for Perpignan and a penalty, Castres has to carry the ball until Perpignan forwards will make a fault, like that one. No, it's not a fault, that's okay.
Freshwater using all his experience there.
So he has to play with his forward again. And they can get the position for a drop goal. Castres has to be patient. The defense has to be patient too. It's an interesting end of the game.
They're building the phases nicely.
Very strategic.
C'est dans l'axe, mais c'est dans le cœur.
Look, is the golf is the last opportunity for Castres to score. Another carrying from the forwards.
We're into stoppage time now. Past the 80-minute mark.
Sebastian Thiusbourd has to be patient to organize it. Is it the drop goal? It's quite far, but they can make it. Another carrying from the back forwards. Yeah, good one from Giogadze. Sildiara this time. Castres is clever enough. They're still progressing. Still an opportunity to score for Castres. Will Perpignan make the first mistake or... So is it a jump goal? It looks like...
Toulouse Bordet is trying to set it up. Slyhart should be waiting. Yes, he is.
It's a good one, but it will be too short.
Too short and not accurate enough. And that's the last action of this game. And Perpignan have held on to their proud unbeaten record. What a game in the end, 17-50.